Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 5D News. We are June 10th. Soon it will be the solstice here. We are the summer solstice. So, very exciting celebration of the light. So, we're going to talk about all news, political, spiritual, the earthbound news as well. So, very excited to tune in. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Sophie. How are you doing?
Hi, everybody. I'm really happy. It's sun shining where I'm at. I'm really happy on the road and finally under the sun. So, for everybody that was struggling with still health issues, just know that going in a place, recharging under the sun, this is really what we need as human beings, recharging and dealing with new vitamins with the sun.
Yeah, and it makes sense also with the solstice, which is a celebration of the lights. So around June 20th, where it's going to be the summer solstice in the northern hemisphere, go under the sun rays. It's going to really recharge you and help you access new frequencies. So very excited for this show. And do make sure you like this show if you do appreciate, of course, this type of content, because we are putting a lot of love into those shows every week, every Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. We're putting a new 5D news show, and I'm going to put also astrological show. So do make sure you are subscribed to the channel. And also we are simulcasting here on our Rumble channel. So do make sure you are subscribed as well. It really helps us into creating some more content like this one for you guys. Okay, so let's start. This week we have a lot of political news. I'm sure you guys are aware. So I read a lot of your comments. So thank you also for commenting, for also asking questions in our community under the 5D news section. So I have a little bit of a better idea of what you guys are interested in. So let's start here, because I think it's a pivotal news that we are having here. So thank you, Nadine Brown. She says, please discuss the situation in Los Angeles, California protests, plus the USA as a whole currently. What the hell is really going on? Deep dive or 5D News? It's a must to discuss. Thank you in advance. So thank you, Nadine. So yes, in a nutshell, protesters apparently or allegedly turned rioters in LA. So, of course, there are two different discourses depending what type of media you're watching. So, some people are saying these are peaceful protests, others are saying that these are aggressive or violent type of protests. And of course, it might be a mix between both. So, and those protests are happening because they're let's say, protesting the deportation and illegal immigration deportation agenda from the new presidency. So as a result of that, Trump deployed 2,000 National Guard troops that we can see here on the picture this weekend, so very recently. And okay, so let's start there. It's a big item, and I just want to preface this by saying, like, it's very, very much in line with the astrology, because this Sunday on the 15th of June, but we're already very much feeling it, we have the Saturn Jupiter square, and Saturn is with right now is with Neptune, the planet of immigration. Saturn is about laws, it's about rules, it's about the government. So the government instilling new rules, new ways of dealing with immigration, which might be a little bit more on the hard edge, because Saturn likes to cut things. And then we have the opposition, well, not the opposition, but the square rather, with Jupiter, which one growth in Cancer, growth for the country, growth for the economy, growth for also the real estate market, which is also Cancer. So those two, let's say, interests are having a big tension. And we're having this tension because we're growing as a collective, and we're trying to access new levels of abundance, of freedom, of consciousness. But there's also resistance because, of course, immigration is necessary, but it has to be done right. And we know that it hasn't been done in a very ethical way in the last presidency. So I hope I prefaced this right.
Yes, absolutely. It's a big topic.
It's a big topic. Yeah. And I know we've been pulling cards before, and you've been saying that in like as a first, let's say, step, Trump would be more drastic in his policies towards immigration, and then you said that we would go towards a more ethical or human way of dealing, let's say, on a more individual case type of situation.
Yeah.
Okay, where do we want to start with that? Like, okay, are we, let's just say, are we headed towards a civil war or more social unrest, or is it going to be more temporary, this protest about illegal immigration and deportation?
We have a lot of fear. So that's a danger with this question, because if there's a lot of fear, of course the violence can rise and we can have more drastic action on both sides. So it's not just on one end. We have train wrecks, so it's not under control so far. It is not under control from either side. And I think that we're heading towards a little bit of, so far with those two cards, we're heading towards a little bit more of chaos, at least before something happens. We have unawaken. So I think that what is portrayed in the media is not accurate at all, because we can see that they have those glasses on. We can see that it is very much a movie. So of course we know it here, not to trust the media. I think it's not portrayed in the right way. Let's see what we have there. Basically, there is major deportation that is in the cards. Okay. So I feel like this is what is portrayed is to have a reason to deport. So I think that so far we're heading towards saying that a lot of the protesters may have been paid, or they have been just extremists in the group can be paid.
Yeah.
Infiltrated. Yeah. Cannot speak apparently. The card is numb. It's interesting. Let me take another one for that card. We have observer. Yes. So I think that there is a lot of people who are not protesting, even though they are really touched by the situation. So I don't think it's an accurate portrait of the situation, what we see, because a lot of people are not in a situation where they can feel safe to protest and to raise their concern. Oh, one card flipped. It's the card of the world, which is interesting because we have the border around this person. We have the world, and this is a card of the fear. So I think there's a lot of laws that are going to have to switch. And I think we're just gaining momentum for it. I think that this is orchestrated. I think it's completely fake what we have. I think it's not for everybody. I mean, there is real concerns, and people who are involved by those change are having real concerns. But I mean, the pressure and how it is gaining momentum, it is artificial. It is created by the official. So it is to gain momentum.
Okay, so I saw the card unawakened, and to me, I'd like to ask like a further question on that. Like, is it possible that it serves a greater purpose of awakening a large part of the population, of the US population, about let's say how immigration was not been done right, or let's say because, or an awakening of mainstream media about like how they portray let's say Trump to be the bad guy, or immigration to be 100% positive? Like, is it serving a greater purpose of people finding more discernment when they are consuming mainstream media?
On a soul level, absolutely. On a logistic level, the people who have made the choices, they don't really care about this currently. That's not the main concern.
Okay.
I took extra card with this one. We have 8 of Cups in the middle. We have 2 of Cups, and we have the King of Swords. It's really to gain the public agreement to deport a lot of people and review how we do the laws about immigration. So I'm not saying that we are not helping the people to awaken to this cause or to see what is truly being done, but it's just collectively we are. I don't. By the way, I don't see a civil war there, but I see that there is absolutely a danger flirting with the limit of it. But I don't see it full on. I don't have the Tower. I don't have Five of Wands. I don't have those cards that I would normally think that would be there. Uh, and you have to understand that it's being really watched and controlled, so we are in the limit of what we want, and the media plays a huge role in it also to like limit the reaction of the public. This is made, like I said, to just be able to have the public awareness and agreement to review the how we do immigration, because there's a lot that cannot be revealed to the public. We know it here. We know that there is a lot of things that are going on with immigration that are not kosher. We know
Yeah.
it. But the large unawakened population cannot sustain that. They cannot fathom it. They cannot deal with it.
Okay, so a possible risk of escalation, but still under a certain control, and it's not going to go over the limit, from what I gather.
It can be very much, very, very much near the limit. It
Okay.
can be, but it's not going to push the limit of a civil war. It's not going to go to that extent.
Okay. And last question on this. Will, in the end of this protest and raising awareness on both sides of the issue, will it offer a better living conditions for Americans once this illegal immigration issue is more, let's say, under control?
Yes.
Will it? Okay.
Absolutely. So it's to change the perspective, first of all, but it's not on a, like I said, it's not to awaken necessarily all of the people, because that would take a long, long time. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is more about how to short term make sure that people are in the right mind frame to redo everything. And it's going to also it's going to help with the economy, because there's a lot of economy that is going to the wrong places. So they want to make sure that the money is going to the right places, and they want to review all of their politics about deals with other countries in the same time. So this is a huge deal. It's not just about immigration. Immigration is a tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, and you're right. Like, it really affects the economy, because they're saying also that there's a lot of Medicaid, the social medical insurance, I believe, which goes to a lot of those illegal immigrants. There's a lot of funds that are funded towards illegal immigrants, which takes away from the health, the economical health of the American population, of course. Um, and yeah, like, of course, immigrants, it's just a natural movement. And I believe also with the North Node in Pisces, we're going to have lots of immigration, and that's not anything bad, but it needs to be under some kind of, let's say, control or legislation, or so that the population can be also respected in that matter. Okay, so another item which gains a lot of attention these days is the feud between Trump and Musk, of course. So that happened like all of a sudden, I believe, from what I've witnessed at least. And so there's been a lot of back and forth on Truth Social and X between Musk and Trump, and it really looks like a, I don't want to say a guerre de cour d'école, but how can we translate that? Like a
Boy Scout kind of a feud war.
yeah, like a schoolyard. This is what I was looking for, a schoolyard type of little
Yeah.
war.
Yeah.
I understand that it has bigger implication than a schoolyard war, though. But it feels very like, oh, you said that, so I'll play that. I'll play that card. So basically, I believe the source of this is that Musk didn't back up the big bill, the beautiful big bill plan that Trump was under, and also Trump was threatening to remove the funding from the EV, electric vehicle So people that buy an electric vehicle would no longer get, let's say, a saving from the government and so forth. So I believe this is the source of this. Let me know if I'm wrong, but this is what I gathered. Can we ask the card, Sophie, what is the real reason behind the ignition of this feud? Is this what we're led to believe, or is it something else?
It says breakthrough. That's interesting.
Okay.
I think the last time we talked about them,
We talked about it because, yeah, I had seen a medium say that they would stop collaborating together, and you said yes, but I see it like more like they have other interests. I believe you said something along those lines. And it seems very interest based. And then Musk dropped the bomb on Trump allegedly being on Epstein list. So, well, these are big allegations. Please continue. I didn't want to cut you off.
No. Okay. So remind me the question we're asking for this one.
What's the real reason behind the ignition of this feud? So you had a breakthrough, which is interesting.
It says destiny, patience, long road ahead. So again, I don't see that their interest has completely separated, weirdly enough. We have the card of Muse that will awaken the best part of you. They seem to have a huge soul contract together to just challenge each other. A kind of a twin flame kind of relationship.
Or karmic.
Or karmic. We have the Temptress. So affair, seduction, allure. We have train wreck again. And we have cunning, clever, suspicion. I don't think this is true.
Oh.
Because I don't think this is true because we have a lot of card about how they want to almost like conquer different parts and to not have, I think that's because of conflict of interest.
So they want to appear as though they have like different interests and they are no longer teammates or collaborators, but they're going to tackle different sides of the agenda.
I think so, yes. Let's see the cards together. I love picking on your brain.
That would be really smart if that's the case.
Break through the devil.
Okay. Maybe it's a plan to like
distract the sources and
yeah.
And also maybe they were getting too much pressure. And by saying they're not on the same side, it could be very wise. The star with the pathway, destiny, patience, long road ahead. So you see with those two, it's really, they have a long-term goal. They have a plan for the long, they don't play the short time. What is it that we send that? We play for the
long game.
The long game. Thank you. So I think that they're really smart and they know where they're heading. I will awaken.
Are they aware of this, or it's being done like unbeknownst to them?
Page of Pentacle. I think that they may not fully be aware of it. Let me see. Are they fully aware of what they're doing, or is it?
Because with the Star card, I feel like they are being helped or guided by off-worlders, like positive off-worlders that are helping the awakening of the collective and our ascension. But I'm wondering if like they're playing with their ego in order to make it really believable that they're having this feud, or if they're aware of like what's going on.
I think they trust the process. We have, it is all major arcana so far, except for the Page of Pentacles that I just took. So this is the card of contract. I think, like you said, they're being guided with the star. It makes total sense. They don't fully know every part of the plan. They don't fully know, but they trust the process and they already are fully on it. I will awaken the best part of you gets the card of the sun.
Wow.
So they know it's going to serve their best interest. They know they're going to gain the best out of it. The card of the Tempress get the 10 of Pentacles. Yes, they have a huge incentive.
Incentive, yeah.
They have a lot of things to, they don't have a lot of risk. That's what I mean. They have a lot to look forward to. And the train wreck get the 7 of Cups. So it's going to look messy for a while. The 5 of Wands. 9 of Wands. Yeah, it's going to look messy for a while. 8 of, yeah, it's just all the bad cards are there with the card of train wreck. So I think that all of this, with the card of cunning, we have the Emperor and the Hierophant. It's not true. I don't think it's true at all. I think it's just a show, because cleverness is getting the two men.
Whoa. Okay, so
Hierophant,
they're aware of it.
they're aware of it, not fully everything, but they trust the process and they know it's going to serve their purpose. Hierophant and the Emperor, meaning that the one that is in power and the one that is more the advisor, the one that is making a plan, and the other one that is more dealing from the outside and giving the advice and knowing a lot.
Wow, this is fascinating. Okay, and can we just ask, is okay, what is this plan going to achieve? Like them making it look like they're not working together, but tackling different parts of the agenda. Like,
Okay.
what is it going to achieve?
So it's all major arcana. So I took one more with the breakthrough, because that seems to be what they're trying to achieve. We had a devil, now we have the judgment. So I think they're trying to also get a lot of support from different places, different kind of people, different views, and they're trying to just basically conquer by different. Yeah, this is what they are trying to achieve. They're trying to success in the tower. They're trying to change the system completely by separating forces, so that they are gaining a lot of support from each side.
And is it possible that also they're trying to what's the word, tromper, like not cheat, but to make it seem like they're doing plan A for the dark side, and they're going this other way, plan B. So are they going to, is it part of the plan that they're trying to what the word I'm looking for, mislead the dark side?
They don't exactly. This is not them necessarily that are making the plans.
Okay.
They don't know everything about this, but they trust the process that is going to lead to that. The Fool, for me, it's just that they know that what they're doing is for the right thing.
Okay. Wow. This is okay. I wasn't expecting that. Let us know what you think in the comments. This is fascinating. And it makes sense also with both the other medium that I was quoting on the last show that saw that they were going to stop working together. And you said, yeah, but no, you were more like being, let's say, you had like a more soft approach to this feud, and you were like, yeah, at some point they're gonna go to different direction, but you didn't see like a big separation. So it makes sense that it's both at the same time.
Yeah, the fact that we have breakthrough with the devil as the very first cards, for me, like I said, I think they had external pressure to join with the darker side, and by them splitting their ways, I think that frees one at least to be able to achieve more for the same interest.
Whoa, this is genius.
Mm-hmm.
Genius. Okay, I love that. Okay, so another question, which is also a bit related to that other topic. So here's Trump proposed a big, beautiful bill, as he calls it, which would increase the U.S. national debt, which is one of the big points that the left, let's say left-wing media or mainstream media, is very upset about. So they keep focusing on that part of the national debt. But also other experts on the other side say that he's putting all those let's say bills or I'm having French words today in my head. I'm like, no, expenses, all those expenses that he's trying to put under one big, beautiful bill, so that he's not going to get that much opposition from the other political parties and the other sides when it comes the time to implement them. So it says here a little resume, but this is from mainstream media, so there's some stuff to leave behind, of course. But and they're of course focusing on the construction of the wall, and yeah. So And I have another post here from Trump. It says Republicans must unite behind the one big beautiful bill. Not only does it cut taxes from all Americans, but it will kick millions of illegal aliens off of Medicaid and to protect it for those who are really in need. Blah blah blah. So it passed, and allegedly this is the source of the feud between Musk and Trump. Can we ask the cards what will be the result of this big beautiful bill on U.S. citizens?
Okay.
Will it be worth it?
Okay. It's kind of a funny card if we think about this, because it just means that they will have a lot of success with deportation.
Yeah.
So that means that, for a while, it's going to be very strict, like we saw, for immigration. We have the price and we have heart. So I think a lot of more of money are really, because this is empathy, a lot more of money is going to go towards real causes that are important. Healthcare and it says flattery, affection, and charm, healthcare, mental health, and physical health.
Okay.
We do see that it's weird, because your question was not asking about this. We have the fear again. This is fear, so that's a lot of fear. And then we have the big cities and we have ETs. So I think that there is going to be still a big witch hunt, I think, for illegal immigrants, even though this bill is passed. This is not what you asked, but the cards have a mind of their own. So
and it's interesting that he calls them aliens, and we have ET like as an alien on this card. Okay.
Yeah. And this is talking about the workers in the big cities. So that's why I really want to get the second row to see what is it talking about. Do we have more jobs? Do we have less?
Well, there's gonna be lots of jobs to fill, I imagine, like the lowest paying jobs in the big cities. Like last time I went to New York City, I spoke Spanish the whole time in restaurants. It was all, I think, Mexicans. I don't know exactly from what country in Latin America, but they were all English, not English, Spanish speaking people.
Yeah. The card that I said we're going to be alone for a while in the US, well, it's the borders and the card of the world. So really strict on the immigration. The price is with the card of the dead card, a big review on where the money is going. How do we go with the expenses? So in the first phase, it's not that much talking about investment of that or how the Americans are going to be affected. It talks about how there's big deportations, how there is a lot of, there could be a lot of violence still in the first phase for the immigration, because people are trying to fight to stay. So I think in the first phase, it's still going to be a hybrid, getting to, even though it's there, it's getting to having this 100% effective. But the plan is the King of Swords. The plan is to put it where it matters, the money. And for the people who are legally here and people who are native from here or immigration here in the US. So it's really to see how much money can we really put in the causes that are important for the people who are here. But in the first time, it's going to be a stop on the expenses, immigration, very hard to get in. I want to say very hard to get in.
Because it's very drastic, but I don't know if he has the choice, really, if we want to really renew the economy and having a better living condition for Americans in general.
Yeah.
Wow. And it really talks again with the astrology, with the square between Saturn, Neptune, with the Neptune being the planet of immigration, Saturn, the laws, the government, so cutting, and then Jupiter in Cancer wanting to grow, to prosper as a country's economy. And also it's the wall. Jupiter in Cancer is the protection. Jupiter is expanding this protection to all citizens. Wow. Okay. Interesting times. So now we're going to be talking about a little bit about the earth and the stars. So the energies of astrology, and then the fires in Canada. And then we're going to be talking about the sun, because there are some very interesting things there. So I just put a video on our channel talking about the astrology of this upcoming full moon that we're having tomorrow. Exactly. So this is a full moon in Sagittarius. I don't always talk about every new moon and full moon, but this one is very important because it triggers the entry of Jupiter into Cancer and this big square that we've been talking about with Saturn and Neptune. So if you'd like to know more, I'll put the link down below of this video. But I'd like to ask the cards, what will be the effect of this full moon on us? And I don't want to say too much because I'd like to know what the cards have to say.
Oh, it's a big rebirth. Oh my God. Major, major rebirth. I think you're, oh, okay. Lots of different topics, but I just want to show you two of the cards. Dark Night of the Soul, Shadow Work, right in the middle. We have beautiful cards also, don't get me wrong. It feels like we're getting out of the shadow work. It feels like we're getting out of the Dark Night of the Soul. It feels like we're entering in that beautiful phase of stability, of the connection with our guides, connection with source. We have soulmate energy. So it feels like we have been working in 2025 all year. It feels like to get to our authenticity even more, to get rid of everything that was fake, that was to survive, coping mechanisms, anything. We got stripped of all of those. And it feels like with this full moon, we start to see, for a lot of people who have done the work at least, the glimpse of what is the new life, the new partnership, the new career, the new you, who you are at the core. It feels like you are showing up your true colors, opening up even more. It feels like you may meet the very important soulmates, love or not, people who are going to be very aligned with you, and connection with guides, connection with your source, is going to be very strong if you're grounded, if you are really connected with your life, with your authenticity. If you feel like you are doing the work, source is going to be aligned and you're going to receive even more guidance in your life.
Wow. Did you watch my video? Because you're saying like, she's like that one. But yeah, you're basically saying everything that I said in this video, I believe. And it's interesting because the ruler of this full moon is Jupiter. And at the same time, yesterday we had Jupiter enter the sign of Cancer, which is a year-long journey, which is about like that house card that you had is Cancer. New stability, feeling more stable, feeling like our foundations are stronger. But it's also like a some kind of crisis in our lives, because you're mentioning like getting back to our sense of authenticity, all the work that we've done so far, which I think is 100% accurate. And I feel like the journey to aligning to your higher self or to your soul is not like, oh, I'm just going to walk over there and then I'm going to walk over there. It's like removing parts that you thought were part of your identity, but are that are not actually part of your true identity. It's about like this letting go, this removal. And I believe this is kind of the peak of this process. And I think, like you mentioned, everything that we need to know. Okay, so my next question.
One more
Go
thing
ahead.
on that. Sorry. I feel like you are finally getting home. It feels like you have followed the card of the star that is guidance. Sorry. My
I
I'm
mentioned
so
exactly that. I'm laughing because I said at the end of the video, it's coming back home.
That's it. Okay, I need to watch your video. I didn't have time. I'm sorry. I will. So yeah, it feels like you have been guided in the dark. Okay, so it feels like you have been moving, not knowing where you were going, or just asked to trust the process. And it feels like you are finally where it's like it started to make sense, where you were supposed to be. You trusted your star, you trusted the process, and you're there.
Wow. 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 And I just want to say that it's not going to happen without challenges and tension, because at the same time of Jupiter moving into Cancer, we have the square that I mentioned. So another question, maybe last question on this square, okay, that we're having at the moment of this full moon. So right now. So it will be Jupiter will be squaring Saturn exactly on June 15th. So this Sunday, but still we're very much in this square. And I'm wanting to know, because Cancer is the sign of real estate. Jupiter is the expansion of real estate markets. Saturn is laws, it's government, it's restrictions. So what will be the effect on this square on the real estate market and the interest rates?
Okay.
Will it become more affordable? Will it become more challenging for the average, let's say, citizen to purchase or to expand or to buy or to sell?
Very weird. It's like a roller coaster. It could be either way so far. We have fresh start and we have reinvention. So it's very interesting. Let me get the tarot cards on this. Page of Cups reverse. And 10 of Wands reverse. And the deck is upright. Okay. So I think there is going to be movement forwards with buying, selling. I think the interest rate could be lowered. There is still a lot of uncertainties. So it can take a while to have stability, because we have a lot of people who are against lowering the prices and making the market go well again, and just movement in that. So I think that what is going to happen is that slowly, very slowly, we're going to move towards a phase of stability again, lowering interest rates. And I feel like this is the year where everything is slow. Everything is slow with this. But I think there's going to be ups and downs. And ultimately, it's to have the market more healthy again. That's the goal. It's going to take a while, though.
Okay. Wow. Interesting. Okay, I have another question about the fires in Canada that we're having in a lot of the territory, and I believe it's even further than that. I believe there are also fires in the east. So okay, I think he sent me a video about a guy talking about, well, the how do we say that, geoengineering. So let's ask the cards, like, are those fires from a natural cause? Are they natural?
Off world. And we have the card of fire.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we have off world. Let me take two more. Night and day, boundaries. What is this about? Okay, let's see. What's the origin of those fires, please? We have fire. It's a new deck.
And it's interesting also because there's a lot of fire also in the astrology with that square. Saturn and Neptune are both in Aries, a fire sign, and then we have Jupiter squaring, which is a fire planet. So we have lots of potential for expansion of that fire.
Yeah, and it's interesting because that's a new deck. I didn't look at the cards yet. I took 3 and we have 2 that are on fire. So we have 3 on fire. We have the 3 recharging with a beam of light. I just want to bring your attention right there on this card. Beam of light. And then we have the fire right there. Okay, let me just see. It's not natural, basically. It's not natural. It is caused by a beam of light of some kind. Let's just see maybe what is the main goal.
Yeah, I was going to ask exactly that.
Yeah.
What's the goal of those fires?
The world, the Fool, the 5 of Wands. I'm trying very hard to not use the word purge. Trying very,
Your
very hard.
favorite word.
It's everywhere. It's
I
just a
know.
continuation, question that word of purging, and just it's a cycle. Okay. It's not natural. That is for sure. Um, it is created by off-worlders, apparently, and it's to create tension, to purify what is going on, to purify um, the situation that is not supposed to stay as is. So it's to create a momentum.
Would you say it's like more or less like good ETs or bad ETs? Like, let's say, yeah.
It's supposed to be good ETs. Yes,
Okay.
we have them.
Benevolent.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. And we know that fire is part of the purging process.
yeah, yeah.
And the transformation process needs fire.
And it says, "I will help you take a stand." So I think it's really to provoke people to see what is going wrong and to act on it, to not accept the status quo, because there is a lot of things going on that unfortunately that people don't act on it.
So this fire energy, like the overpresence of fire energy, is supposed to bring us some fire individually to react to injustices.
Yes, absolutely. It's to go from a place of holding everything inside and accepting the status quo to fast movement, fire energy, and to make big changes.
Whoa. Okay. Very interesting. And as a result of those fires, I don't know about where you guys are, but here we have been seeing a very bright, and this doesn't do justice, but I was just trying to show you guys what we were seeing. A very bright orange ball as being the sun. It was almost like being in the Dune movie. So I thought that was very interesting. And I just like to ask the cards because I'm curious, but are we seeing an orange sun just because of the forest fires as a result of like the air being very much veiled because of the smoke? Or is there another reason for the sun appearing this way?
We have Queen of Wands. So again, that's a fire energy. I would say that this is it is not per se just because of the fire. It's more a statement of this is fire season and people need to take a stand, reclaim your power, because the Queen of Wands is the one that, for me at least, is really in her power, and she fights for it.
So it's also trying to activate us into a more of a warrior energy. Wow. And I saw a couple of people post, like, let's say, pictures like that. And I just learned that this is called a sun dog, apparently. So
Okay.
this is a new word in my vocabulary. So I'd like to ask the cards, what does it mean to see a sun dog in the sky? So what's the message? What's the sun trying to communicate?
We have Seven of Swords and Eight of Swords. It's interesting. Everything is about this current event that they're saying that we have given up the fight and we need to find it again. So this is for the moment right now, but let's ask in general if you see this in another context.
But I believe it was very recent that a lot of people have posted similar pictures. So it might be, as you say, like a continuation of the same message about getting back to that spiritual warrior energy.
And fighting for your rights and just never give up, even though you have heartache or even though you have like problems in your fight where you used to have a step back because the sword is broken. So he is not stopping. He is we can see the determination in his mind. So, okay, let's see what we have normally when it's not in that particular context, what it means in general. Yeah, it's the same message.
Okay.
So it's to not stop. It's to continue. It's to draw energy from the sun. It's to really recharge your inner power and just know that you are important and that you should not accept things that are not fitting for you. That's probably why we have the shape of the round that we saw also in the card of the world, which is protection and boundaries.
Wow. Okay. And let us know what it means to you in the comments. I'm very curious to see, like, because I feel like there's a plethora of way of expressing this energy of being a spiritual warrior, of not abandoning the fight, not giving away your rights, but also stepping into more of your mission, stepping into more of your light, your authenticity. So let me know what you think and how you're going to activate this energy for yourself. And I love the way that you said, like, be under the sun, recharge, get those activation, those frequencies. And it's the solstice soon. So the sun is at its most powerful position, and it's wanting to give a lot of, let's say, expansion of consciousness to us all. That being said, if you would like to book your one-on-one consultation with this amazing oracle, you can do so right now. I'll put the link down below. And Sophie, what do we have for our beautiful audience?
We had a 30 minutes per record, which you are sending me your questions. I record it. You get to see the cards. You get to re-listen to this video whenever you want to. And so far, I received absolutely amazing comments. So thank you so much for everyone that took the time to send me comments. I love it. And we also have the 1 hour tarot reading. So you can book this with me, where we get to talk, interact, and it is through Zoom. You can ask all of your questions, and we can do past life on it. We can do tarot. We can do a lot of, in 1 hour, we can do a lot.
Oh yeah, even in 30 minutes, I believe you can pack a lot of your questions there. And the link is down below. Don't forget to enter Jupiter as your discount code to get 10% off for all the three. So the past life is not in this picture, but it's also included in this. And I just want to say that we had the other pre-record, which was also 30 minutes for the 2025 prediction that we put in December, January of in the past months. And the difference with the new 30-minute pre-recorded is that the 2025 prediction was an overall view of what's going to happen for you. And Sophie was tuning into the energy of each person without any question. So going in blind with what the universe wanted to deliver as a message for you. Whereas this one, there's a box where you can enter all of your questions. So a lot of people are happy with this one because they have like specific things that they'd like to get guidance on. So the link is down below again, and don't forget to enter Jupiter. All right. I think we're going to be switching a little bit into, what do we do here? Okay, let's do finance, because I know a lot of you guys are interested to see what's going to happen with gold and silver. So let's start with gold. So this is the chart for, and let me make sure if I put the right, okay, so this is the 3-month chart. Let's see, can we ask the cards what's going to happen? Because we see like it's pretty much average, but nothing crazy or out of this world is happening with gold right now. Silver, there's more movements, but let's see what's going to happen with gold.
Okay. It says passive. Yeah, it says passive. There is a lot of policies that are going to affect the gold that are coming. So we can see that we have the Magician, we have Fresh Start, and we have the Capricorn energy right there that says, I'm telling you what to do. So I think that we have a lot of policies that are coming that are going to affect the price of gold, but just short terms right now, it talks about more of a passive, where we had a roller coaster in the last few weeks, months, and now it's going to be a little bit more stable before we have new policies that are going to affect the goal and what is going to be. So
I'm guessing it will go up after those policies or restrictions are lifted.
I'm assuming too, but let's see what is the result.
Let's make sure.
The Devil.
It makes sense because it is very controlled. The price is very much controlled. So it makes sense what you're saying.
So we have the Devil, we have the Emperor, we have the Eight of Cups, the Chariot, the Six of Swords, and the Ten of Pentacles. So we're going into a direction where gold is going to gain a lot of momentum, but we still have a lot of ups and downs in between, just because the Devil is also the control. We have the chains on that card. So there could be so I think that right now we have a passive energy. We may see a little bit of fluctuation, but it's not going to be crazy. Coming up, we have regulation are coming that are going to change the price of gold. But it's interesting as we see those three cards of movement followed by the Ten of Pentacle. So maybe something with the money, maybe something with cryptos. There could be something where we leave something behind. It could be also just with companies. It could be just something with politics in general, economy in general. We're leaving something behind too, and it affects so much the goal. It affects the full economy, and the goal is gaining a lot of values because of it, by movement forwards, by legislation, by something that is made through government.
Do you think it's going to happen this year, like this 10 of Pentacles?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, okay. Me too. It makes sense. Okay, next question. So silver has risen a lot so this is the 3-month chart. So you can see it's on an upward swing. Will it continue to rise?
Okay. Ooh, blockage.
So maybe not.
Oh, Jekyll and Hyde. Okay. What's going on there? We have Muse, throat chakra, blockage again. I don't think so far.
So it's very much being under tight control, because we know that even though it has risen, it's not, let's say, a reflection of the real value of silver if we look at the inventory versus the price. So it's still not going to be a reflection of that.
It's still in the cards for later on, but right now it is very much control, and it's very much being stopped. So unfortunately, there's a lot of uses for silver that we don't know about, and they want to control the prices at that point. So right now I would say no. And we do have later on, we have the Wheel of Fortune, we have the King of Pentacles. So later on there will be a rise of the prices, but I always see it later on. It's not coming right now. It's not there right now.
Okay. And last week I've asked you if indeed silver was very much used in space technology, and you said a big yes. And solar panels. So we have lots of technology that are using silver. And this is why probably it's still being underplayed by the dark side, because it's being used a lot in secret type of operations, outer space type of stuff. And the other thing that I've heard, and I'd like to verify with the cards, is that apparently there's a lot more gold than silver on Earth. Huh. So it might, when we discover the truth of that, it might also make a switch, a drastic switch, because like we think right now that there's a lot more silver than gold, but it would be the opposite. So can we validate that with the card? Is it true that there is more gold than silver on Earth?
Yeah, silver is limited.
Ooh, and Houdini, meaning like it's being masked.
Yeah, and I see this card as the Eight of Sword energy also. So I see this as very control and very limited, and coming from off-world, or off-world uses. So it's true. It's absolutely true.
Hold on to your silver, guys, if you can. Okay, my next, and maybe we'll have time for a few ones. So let's see. I have a good one here and this is going to be in the spirituality category. This is from Mereki. So from Mark from Netherlands. So thank you, Mark, for this question. He says, "Hey, lovely ladies, thanks again for this episode, for the last one. Sophie have a nice time off and enjoy. I would like to ask, since many weeks, what does 5D stand for?" And he says, "I think it has something to do with dimensions, but I'm not sure." A big thank you from the Netherlands, Mark. So thank you, Mark, for your questions. I think it's a good opportunity to dive a little bit more into that concept. So yes, the show is named 5D News because we wanted to sort of elevate the frequency of everyday news and talk about it from also a spiritual perspective. So this is a very good question, Mark. It brings us right back to the basis, but also it's so interesting because there's many ways of school of thoughts and of explaining this concept. So the main, let's say, concept of this is that we would be in the 3D right now. So as a level of consciousness, which is more material, which is more, and some people say dimension, some people say density, but I believe we have like some kind of a consensus here in the spiritual community that we were mainly living in the 3D. And we're evolving and we're going to evolve to the 5D, and it's an ongoing process. So it's been said that some of us are already being living on this earth through a 5D level of consciousness through our everyday life, which is a lot more of an elevated frequency of feeling the unity between every single living beings, and not seeing the world through like the polarity of black, white, good, bad, light, dark, feeling more integrated and feeling more oneness within the experience. So the 4D would be more of a passage through that. And some people say that we're already there. Some people say we're in the midst of there. Sophie, what would you like to add to what I just said? Do you think it's complete, or do you need to add anything?
Oh, it's really good what you said. Like I said, there's a lot of different views on the topic, and I think that's a term that is being used for, and a lot of people don't know even what that means, and that's fine. For me, from my perspective on that, I think that we are each of us can achieve a different level depending on how much you work on releasing the veil, releasing your filter of your perspective. That could be done through removing the trauma, removing the coping mechanisms, letting go of karmic contract, releasing, understanding where you come from as a soul, past life, this life, releasing the anger, the holdback, the fears, whatever contract you have come here to release, releasing that density of the 3D. For me, that would be the contract and the lessons that you have to learn to connect with source and to be, like you said, Julie, in this unity with people and this frequency that is more high. It's not an easy job. And I think that's a goal to achieve.
Yeah, well said. And I feel also that the 3D level of consciousness binds us to the matrix way of living even more, to the control, to the fear, to the propaganda. And as, let's say, we know that 2020 was a big bridge portal into catapulting us into the 5D experience. And it's been prophesized a long time ago that this period of time exactly we would incarnate because there's going to be a huge shift. The earth is going to shift drastically into a new consciousness, which is the 5D. And like whatever you call it, it doesn't really matter, 3D, 5D, 4D. It's just like a concept of that we're all shifting into more light, more of a positive experience, more unity, more beauty, more abundance. And we incarnated because we knew that it needed like a strong team of souls, and you're part of it. So thank you for being here. And it's big. So all the social unrest that is going on in the world is also a byproduct of this huge shift that we're attempting. And we're also stepping into the age of Aquarius, which is the age of light, the age of knowledge. We're getting back to a lot of sacredness that we used to connect with before with Mother Earth, which is also a living being. So basically, this is my short explanation, our short explanation for this. But I'd like to ask the cards a couple of questions. What can the cards tell us in regards to where we are right now within this shift on Earth? So, yeah, I'll leave that and we'll see.
Okay. So it says that I will start with a negative first. It says that a lot of people are still in the loop, are still stuck in the loop. Okay. Nostalgia is a reminder, like I said, that we need to go back to our roots. So ancestors, that we need to release generational curses and past life contract and this life trauma to be able to release a lot. Okay, that's the negative thing, is that some people are stuck in the loop of karma and they're unable to get out, and they repeat their each life, they repeat the same thing. That's the only one that is not that positive. Okay, then we have miracle. So I think that we are moving in the direction that we're supposed to move. We have 3 and 4, which is, I would say, in between the 3D and the 4D. And if you count them, it's 7, which is the chariot evolution. We are in a movement forward with the card of miracle to go to the light and to move forward in a good energy. That being said, we need to have a lot of communication. That means that we need to learn how to have healthy debate as a society. We need to know how to communicate with each other in our contract, in our karmic, in our lives, within ourselves, with the world. We need to have better communication. The media are also a big part of it. Okay. The media are a big part of the elevation. That is a big thing that needs to change. The next card is long road ahead, patient. So it's not going to be tomorrow. Some people say it's going to be tomorrow. I wish it's true. For me, I don't see it.
It would like remove like the purpose. Like, we're here because our soul wants to grow. Our soul wants to experience the richness of this challenge also in order to grow individually, but also collectively. So if like one day to another, it will magically shift, it would like defeat the purpose, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And luckily we have a lot of guidance through it all. So it's like we talked in a previous show, we don't wait for external saviors, but in the same time, you can ask your guides for help. You can ask them to guide you to your next step, the next thing to do to release a lot of karma or a lot of 3D density.
Whoa, that is beautiful. And I love the fact that you saw the 34, which in my mind I was like, oh, chariot energy, and you're like, oh, we're between the 3 and the 4th dimension. So I love it. So collectively, this is where we would be in between the 3rd and the 4th, which makes a lot of sense according to also lots of people in the spiritual community. And last question I'd like to ask, because some people say that although collectively this is where we might be, some people could be visible still, like let's say materially living in the 3D, but also living in a 5D consciousness. So what are some signs that could let us know if someone is living mainly in 5D? How can we know?
It says woman and girls, 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 and big dreams. So that's interesting. Okay. So the big dream for me, that means that you need to be in the same mindset of a person that is, give me a second, that is dead. Okay. Because when you go to the light, that's where you have the bigger picture.
Yeah.
That's where you don't hold resentment. That's where you make peace with everything and you're just in this loving vibration. So that for me is something that
seeing things from a higher perspective and not being so involved within the polarity of this world.
Yeah. So we're not saying good vibe only. I don't like that sentence at all. We're not saying that at all, but we're saying having a bigger perspective and not letting the little things affect you. I would say that you are possibly also being able to communicate more easily with the other side, people who have crossed higher the elevated guides. You can communicate with them. Now I want to see why we have girls, 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 and women. That's interesting.
It has to do, I believe, with nurturing the feminine energy within each and every one of us.
Mm-hmm.
because it has been so unbalanced before on Earth. We know that a lot of, let's say, toxic patriarchy has taken over. And I believe to rebalance this, we need to, each and every one of us, work at rebalancing it, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. So we have the Three of Cups, we have the Empress, and we have the Hangman with girls, girls, girls. So a change of perspective where we are able to be rebalanced with the feminine energy, at peace with both sides. We do need both sides. We need the masculine, we need the feminine. So within yourself, you need to be able to be vulnerable. You need to be able to act from a place of receiving. You need to be acting from a place of a divine feminine energy. And of course, like I said, we do need a masculine also. It's not about just a feminine. Both are absolutely necessary equally. It's just, like you said, we have an imbalance to rebalance right now. And if you talk with a lot of women these days, they have taken the role of a lot of masculinity in their personal lives. And we need to make peace with the balance.
Yeah. And I had a message, and I have, like, every time I channel, I have my nose that starts running. So I guess I'm channeling. I just had a message also of, like, this divine feminine energy, which is also reconnected with Mother Earth and reconnecting with the cycles. And when we are fully connected with the cycles of life, of Earth, of astrology, all the transits, the sun, the seasons, this is when also we can fully be grounded in that feminine energy, whether you are a man or a woman. And the next thing I wanted to say is a big shout out to all the beautiful divine masculine who are watching us, who sends us our question, your protection, and who are just curious to know, like, what we have to say, and that are supporting us. Like, this is such, like, a blessing. Thank you. You are providing so much, like, protection and safe space for us. So thank you for being there. And when we shifted from more of a, like, a divine feminine point of view within, like, the shows, I didn't think we would have, like, so many men following us still. So I want to thank each and every one of you. I think you're truly evolved in helping us reach that equilibrium. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
And on that being said, on that note, I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Do make sure you like this video if you do appreciate the show. And do make sure you add your questions below this video or in our community. And I'll make sure that the link is down below so you can also join our beautiful like-minded community. And we'll see you very soon. I know we have, like, such a more, let's say, quiet week in terms of shows, but we're going to be back next week with some surprises. So do make sure you're following our weekly schedule. Sending much, much love to you guys in terms of those big upheavals in the energy, but also big blessings with that Jupiter in Cancer. Love you, and